Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's Wednesday night for PoliTarology, and we have with us Kathy Biehl, our favorite astrologer, and my sister, our favorite seer. So I hope we have a good show tonight. Energy is going to be really good. And I'm just going to let everybody say hello, and then we'll jump into the questions. So my guest, Kathy, please say hello and tell us what's going on with you. It's nice to see you.
Hey, oh yeah, it's great to be here. I actually left town for a week. I never do that. I decided I like it. So we'll see what happens with that. I would like to just put out there that I have a class on Zoom this Sunday, ridiculously modestly priced. There's a orange streak across the top of my website, empowermentunlimited.net, with info. I am talking about Saturn and Neptune in Aries throughout history. So what I do at the beginning of my Cosmic Owl going down the news, I do this for centuries and come up with themes of what we might expect. And you will not be surprised by what's being lit up. So.
And I'm signed up for the class. I hope.
Excellent.
I hope I can be there. I hope I can be there.
It'll be recorded.
And yeah, I may have to do that, but I'm going to try really hard to do the live. And Cleo, hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm just trying to look up to see if I have anything going on, which I don't really think I do. For some reason, things have been pretty quiet for me. I don't have anything till June. And the first thing I've got is a Golden Girls on Thursday, the 1st June and Thursday. Oh, it's first Thursday in June. I'm dyslexic, sorry. And
okay.
Anyway, so yeah, just trying to keep up with the political nonsense, and it just gets weirder and weirder. And so I think we will just have a really good discussion today to find out what is really going on.
Okay. I just realized, Kathy, I don't see your questions in the chat, so I'm just going to bring up
private chat. They're under private
yeah,
chat.
I know, and I'm not seeing them. I think, are they somehow in my YouTube chat?
No, click on the right-hand side on private chat.
Yeah, you guys, I've done this before. Yes, I'm clicking on private chat and I don't see
And it's
anything.
not there because there are 3 of them. Okay.
Yeah, I see them all.
Okay, so when the time comes, Cleo, can you put them up on the screen?
I don't know. Let's see. No, I can't store them.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just read them when we get to them.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I'm sorry. Technical difficulties here. Nobody cares about that.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right.
That's been the week.
Yeah. So, all right. So, we're going to get started with a question. Do you want to just start with your first one, Kathy?
The first one, I'm going to take them in reverse order.
Okay.
Actually, there's one I think we shouldn't even bother with, but
all right.
One of them is, let's start on a happy note. If you could hand select our next president and vice president, who would you pick and why? I know my answer. The people I voted for last year.
Yeah, the people that I voted for less than 10 months ago. That's who I'm going to vote for. Yeah. Okay, so that's who I would pick. Cleo, do you?
The same thing.
Okay.
All right.
There's no question there. There's no question there.
Next.
What are the intentions of China and their long-range razor and its kill switches in solar panels? And now suspicious parts have been found in Denmark's circuit boards. Intentions of China and their long-range laser and kill switches in solar panels and suspicious parts found in Denmark's circuit boards. So I'm asking an evil deck, and it says compromised and harmful. So there's something to this. There is something to this.
Isn't China in the process of creating a huge artificial intelligence?
They've created it.
Okay, but they're still working on it, right? And they're putting tons and tons of money into it. So
taken by force. I think we should take this very seriously.
Mhm.
Yeah, what would be the how would this help them? What would they have intelligence of going to different countries and they can pick up information from them?
Yeah, they'd take over the world. Yeah, how would it help them? They would absolutely have power over everybody. It sounds like they would be listening in, looking in, grabbing things with AI. Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Okay, well, that's
exactly
kind of
what
what I
they're trying
felt.
to do. They're trying to reverse the trend of, whoops, excuse me. Do you hear that when I do that? Is that make a
Yep.
noise? Okay, I'm
If you
very
touch
sorry.
it.
Okay, I thought I touched it before. Yeah, I get the Hierophant crossed by the Two of Cups. So they're saying, "Oh, you don't want to be nice to us anymore and be our friend? Okay, we'll just take over your government." And this is how they're going to do it. This is exactly how they're going to do it. The final card is the Emperor. Hello, talk about a China symbolism. The
Whoa, look at that.
Emperor. My God. Yeah, they're ready to take over. They're ready. They're just like, "Oh, okay, we'll take over. It's okay." I know China is a Libra country, I believe, but still they're very forceful, very, very forceful. And also they do think in such long terms. They think in terms of multiple centuries, So, a few 20, 50 years, no big deal to them. They'll develop AI until, 2050. All right, that's what I say. Their plan is to take over the world. Okay. Do we need more details than that?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's go. All right. China is taking over the world simply because the USA has effed off the map so badly. Well, yeah, I mean, we have made it easy for them. We have pretty much just opened the door and said, "Come on in." So.
The third question I have, I can't really quite make sense of, so we're going to just ignore it.
All right. So let's go to the starred questions.
Okay, so the first one just talks about something. We don't have to put that one up, but Felicity asks, is there a connection between Musk and Putin both fighting with 45 right now? So let's put that up there.
You know what I can't decide is, are these real disputes or is this a smokescreen?
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been thinking about.
Right?
That's what the deck of character is saying. Here's what. The first one is ruler. Second one is ghost. That tells me it's not real.
Not real.
The third is sunken ship. So there's something that's already been torpedoed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still taking note of things. They're still measuring stuff, but whatever is going on here is they're trying to hide that it's a lost cause.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, my gut is telling me that because Trumpy didn't fulfill his obligations to Pootie, Pootie's angry, and now on the world stage, Pootie is embarrassing him, right? That's obvious, and even newscasters have said that. Mm-hmm. But what is the fallout really going to be? So I'm going to, while you guys chat about this, I'm going to throw my cards on for Trump. What's the fallout going to be on Trump for this fighting? And then we'll do one on Musk.
I think Trump has gotten some reminders lately that certain body parts of his are in somebody's tight little hand, on camera even. Multiple people have certain body parts of his. So in other words, the compromat was shoved in his face on camera. And I've long thought that whatever it is that they have on him does involve underage.
And I think multiple people have it. I don't think it's just Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, no. Yeah. Cleo, what are you getting?
Well, the thing with Musk and 45, I'm like, why are you bringing this up out in the open like this? This is just too
convenient,
just too blatant, It's kind of like, oh, please. you know, you're not really, he acts like he's not, you know, he doesn't want that big, beautiful bill to be passed and stuff. If I suppose there is things in there that do affect his Tesla stocks, his company, but just because he says, I don't quite get why he's saying that right now. That is this supposed to make people have hope about something, or does he really have influence over 45? Or again, smokescreen? Is it just something to put out there to maybe satisfy somebody else, to satisfy us? Like, oh, okay, we don't like it and he doesn't either, so now we got him on our side or some damn thing. I don't know. I don't, it feels shady to me.
I have more after
Yeah.
Colleen talk.
Kathy, go ahead, because you were gasping even as Cleo was.
Oh yeah, okay. So remember when I had the deck of characters, Sunken Ship was a card. First card out of the predictions deck is submarine underwater. So there is stuff that's going on. And you remember Russia and the cables?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
so
exactly.
then we have social media. So there's manipulation going on with the messaging. This is bizarre. New sheriff in town. Business.
Like Elon Musk.
But look at it. It's new ruler, policies, laws, and corrupt dealings. And notice that there's a sweet girl. Corrupt dealings. So there's a connection.
Yeah.
And it's not what it seems to be, and it's subterfuge.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that you know, I think Putin is grabbing the ball and running with it, and he's going further than he told Donald Trump and Elon Musk that he would go, and he's pushing them out and making them look worse and worse. I mean, they knew that he was going to do this. It was a game, right? But he's going for broke. He has nothing to lose. The cards that I got indicate that children would be at the base of this compromat, 6 of Cups. So yeah, that compromat is probably, you know, and they're saying again now that Putin's going to go somewhere for a meeting on, what is it, June 2nd or something like that.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. No, what's going to happen on June 2nd is maybe a little expose. But it's crossed by the Queen of Pentacles. So there's some kind of money thing that is not quite kosher, not quite hinky. And at the base of it is the Hermit. So the Hermit to me says introspection, investigation, exposing the truth, exposing stuff. What crowns it is the 10 of Cups. So I think that Trump is misunderstanding the danger he's in. I think he's so full of himself at this point that he really is believing his own bullshit, which he usually does. But notice how many times in the news he is saying, I know Putin very well. I've known him for a long time. Oh, really? Have you been a good friend to him, or have you been shitting on him too, because you're not giving him back what you promised? Now, the other cards are pretty typical. We got the 5 of Cups, we got the Devil, we got the, you know, it ends with the 7 of Swords. So all this stuff. So I think that this is part of a bigger, I think this is a piece of a bigger puzzle that ends up with exposure of the whole kahuna, right? I think this is like, if you're looking at one of those 1,000-piece puzzles, I think this is like 200 pieces in the corner that started, or maybe all 4 corners. But I think this is the beginning of a big snowball rolling and lots of stuff coming out. That's what I think. I think it's just a piece. Okay. Okay. Next.
Well, and I do agree with now I've already taken it down, but they were talking about Project 2025. And yes, you know, keep in mind that Project 2025 is always in flux. They're willing to, you know, depending on what they need and, you know, to rewrite little things and stuff. And so this might just be a part of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around, how does the focus or the theme or the goal of Project 2025 fit in with the war in Ukraine? or anything to do with the war in Ukraine? I don't get that.
Well, the overriding goal is to destabilize this country.
Mm-hmm.
This country. And jerking around what our relationship with Ukraine has been, I think, is part of it. I mean,
yeah, I get that. I get that. And all the other stuff. I was reading today the whole article about Harvard and the letter that Kristi Noem wrote to Harvard and their response to it and everything. And I'm just thinking, yeah, this is not Trump's plan. This is a much bigger master plan. And they started in Florida banning the books, and then it spread to other states. And now it's like a pincer move. They start with the easy stuff, the local schools, the municipalities. Now they're going for the hallmark educational institution of the world, basically, and trying to destroy that. I mean, they're not going to succeed, but still, it's like if they get those two ends of the spectrum collapsing, how long will it be before it starts to collapse all the way up into the middle? I'm sure that's their strategy. Pincer move. I learned that from Game of Thrones. Don't forget, Game of Thrones is a highly educational program that everybody should watch. Okay. All right. Next question. Where did all the Russians go? Is Putin hiding somewhere else because he fears his own people? I don't get, where did all the Russians go?
A lot of people fled this weekend. A lot of people fled.
Okay. So they all fled. The rest of them, I'm sorry, but most of them were like killed in the Ukrainian war. A lot of people were killed.
But a lot of high-level people fled the country this weekend.
Excellent. See, another piece of the puzzle. Great.
Stereo. This reminds me of Manuel Noriega. Remember that when the CIA just played music?
You know, what is the word when people go against the government?
Insurrection.
That's
betrayal, treason.
Starts with an M. I can't find it.
Are you thinking of mutiny?
Sure. Well, yeah, that would be a good one too. Anyway, I mean, I've got the feelings that not just the higher ups in Russia, but also the people of Russia are not going. They're done with this. They're tired of it. It's not going anywhere, and they keep more and more people keep getting killed. And I think Russia economically is in bad shape. And I'll go back to Kathy. I'm sorry I interrupted with your reading there. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I think they're in hiding in rural places.
And it's a big country. There's a lot of rural places.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And I got that underground railroad feeling about the whole thing.
Yeah, because for 20 years they have had to reteach themselves how to live in spite of their government and how to hide things from their government. So, it is really literally kind of an underground railway situation. You have more, Kathy? Cleo?
No.
Okay. So what I get is that the money's gone. There's just no money. Right. Very little food. There's very little of anything. And for Putin, yeah, he feels trapped. He feels like, he really has to be careful. If he moves one way, he gets cut. If he moves another way, he gets cut. In this case, he's not holding himself as prisoner. He is a prisoner because they know likey. However, is that body double number 3 or number 6? Or, when he finally falls out a window, is he going to be like a fish stick, a frozen fish stick on the ground because he's been preserved for the last 8 months or something? I mean, and then they're going to play Swan Lake. That's how I see it. But yeah, there's big secrets. There's big secrets in the past, but that's him always. He's a KGB guy. Now, what crowns this is the Queen of Swords. Can we say Yulia Navalny?
No.
Right? Somebody, although I think she might be a fire sign. I can't remember. Anyway, out front is the devil. And in this case, the devil would be Putin. And yes, I'm saying devil with a B. Okay. And then it just, it has a whole bunch of stuff that says, yeah, we're going to clear the decks. We're going to clear everything out. And there's going to be a new thing for Russia. Now, is that happening next week? Probably not. I mean, Russia's a really big place. There's many, many people there. They've been under the thumb for a long time. But I think that this is an indication that something's happening. All these people fleeing, and you're finding not, is it Med, whoever the guy was that usually went to the Riyadh meeting, whoever that guy was, that's not him who is speaking out about what they're going to be doing with the June 2nd meeting and talking to Ukraine. It's the other guy. It's, I want to say Medvedev. I don't know. But anyway, I think the changing of the guards here and the people leaving and the Putin saying yet again, oh yeah, I'm going to go to that meeting. I think this is all the beginning of things crumbling for Putin. So is he hiding? Oh, yeah, honey, he's been hiding for a year. He's been hiding on a tray in a refrigerated room. I mean, it's been, he's probably been dead for a while, and these are all body doubles, but entertainment purposes only. Okay, let's try another one.
Okay.
So astrologically, Kamala, she's got wonderful, empowering transits going on right now. The planet Jupiter, which expands, whatever it goes through, has been moving through the most hidden part of her chart where it acts as kind of like a cosmic nightlight. It's moved across her ascendant. It's crossed her north node, and it's making contacts to her sun and moon, translating her. She's coming out into the open again. We will see more and more and more of her, and she is moving on to her life path. And I don't think it's being the governor of California. So we'll just leave it at that.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.
They're trying more and more. I don't know why they keep bringing up stuff about Biden and that, he might have lied about his diagnosis and he knew a long time ago. And then they also got one where Kamala was totally put off by Biden because he put on a hat that was a Trump hat over another hat. It was during some little talk. I think it was when he was campaigning or something. He was being facetious and making a joke. And obviously Kamala is not sitting around going, oh boy, that really pissed me off. But this negative stuff that comes out in the media, I'm thinking they are scared to death of what might be happening. The Republicans, the mega folks, they are very concerned that, what? First of all, everything Kamala said, when you go back in time and see what Trump is doing right now, they're like, oh my God, maybe we should have gone for Kamala. On the other hand, the Republicans are seeing that as so threatening, but so they want to make Biden look bad. I don't quite get what they're doing, but all this nonsense that you see on the internet about, that Kamala is mad at Biden or that Biden and her have had a split or something. Absolutely not. No.
It's misdirection.
Yeah, it's totally.
I mean, Trump's worse and worse and worse. He's making less and less sense. It's misdirection.
Yeah.
And also, you notice that a few readers have been saying that Joe Biden did indeed put together a plan for this transitional government before he left office, along with all those executive orders that he did, along with those very judicious and surgical pardons that he gave, along with a number of other things. He spent quite a bit of time setting up this plan. Now that's being not really talked about in the news, but we know that Putin has remote viewers and psychics. Bet some of these other guys do too. Do you think they're starting to get a little hinky about it? Because I've noticed that quite a few Republicans now in the Senate and Congress are starting to openly defy Trump. Like not half or anything, but enough numbers that if they pulled votes and they stuck to their defiance, the Democrats would win the vote. So,
oh yeah, they're very, very, that was the latest thing, was they're very concerned about what's coming up in 2026, about the elections at that time. But I think they better step back a little bit and start paying more attention to 2025, because I think that is where the disruption is going to come into play. And also that a lot of people are not too happy with Trump, and they keep bringing that up. And so Trump just he's tried to dismantle everything, every single thing that Biden has done. And apparently he's getting away with a lot of it. But, you know, this thing with, I mean, I just loved it that the king said, you know what? No, you're not taking Canada. You'll never take Canada. You know, that's not going to happen. But Trump himself, he throws out so much stuff, and he just continues to do it. And he's just, from what I see, he's just digging himself in deeper and deeper and deeper, to where the megas are still like, oh, yay, Trump. But the people that use their own mind, that have some intelligence intact, are like, whoa, wait a minute. This thing about the plane, this thing about not bringing some of these people back that should not have been deported, and the way they're going about all this, that, you know, it just feels so much like Nazi Germany, where they're going into people's homes, dragging people out, throwing them on a plane, and sending them to another country. Please. There's a lot of stuff going on that people just can't tolerate. Is Kamala aware? Yes. Kamala is paying attention to every single thing. And yeah, I still see that he will be he'll be disqualified. And when he's disqualified, I know a lot of people think it's going to be the voting thing. I hope it is, but I don't know for sure. I just know that if he's disqualified, he's no longer 47. So who is second runner up? You know, if they can't prove the vote, you'd still take second runner up. So it would be unusual, totally unusual, bizarre. But everything Trump's doing is bizarre. So, you know, I still feel so good about Kamala. I just love it when she comes up and does anything, because I just get the greatest and coolest energy from her. So, yeah, Kamala will stay on top of it.
And imagine if you are a Republican senator who actually served with her. Imagine you just sitting there going, damn, she was right about everything.
And that's what they're saying. That is exactly what they're saying. I am
such a fool. Look at my career. I am throwing away my whole fucking career for this moron who can't even take himself to the bathroom. You know, they're looking at that stuff. I'm just glad I'm not Marco Rubio. Yeah, her cards come out that now this is interesting, because I haven't gotten this card in a very long time, but I got the card that usually indicates that, you know, Dumpy's having that event. Mm-hmm. And I think they took medical steps to prevent that event sometime around the election time, because we didn't get those cards anymore after that for him. And then, of course, everyone was saying, you know, timeline jump. And that's true. I believe that the timeline did jump. But I think that now he's kind of, you know, how he never takes care of himself. I think he's wearing out whatever they fixed him with. I think it's, you know, because he's probably still doing his over-the-counter drugs, and he's probably not holding back on Diet Coke and McDonald's. And, you know, I mean, he's ruining his body in new ways. So I do think he's going to have a little something happen to him. And I think it's all a part of this big thing that's going to happen. And I think that, you know, Kamala will be a part of it somehow, but she has to be somewhat fringe, because then it just looks too weird. I'll just say weird. But anyway, what do you guys think of that?
Agreed.
I think it's everything all at once, huge snowball, things rolling out. And then the woman with the plan is just standing there with her papers. Like, I have
right. It's like one of those big, like, musical productions, the old timey ones on Broadway, where all the dancers would be out and the stage would raise up like in a tiered cake kind of thing. And at the top, she'll just be at the top, rising up to the top, and all the other dancers with their feathers and fans will be going like this. And, you know, gay guys will be dancing across the stage doing high kicks. You know, it's just going to be great. It's just that's how I'm going to feel anyway. That's where my brain's going to go when this starts happening. But for people who are watching, don't think that things are going to start happening and all of a sudden it's going to feel good, because they're going to fight back big time. But okay, so we never talked about Musk though with the Putin thing, and I think Musk still has a role to play, don't you? Or should we read? Can we read on it?
Go right ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what role will Musk play in this showdown? I'm going to call it a showdown. What role will Musk play?
I'm hearing ELO showdown. It's raining all over the world.
Oh, yes. Oh. Well, you know, and that interview where he said, you know, he doesn't agree with the big, beautiful bill. And, you know, he's made a few other kind of side statements where you're going, trouble in paradise. You know, you guys are not, Trump doesn't want to be a bottom anymore. Come on, you know.
Trump doesn't want to be a bottom anymore.
So here's this guy who has all the social media and he's riding the unicorn. This is from the book that I do not know. It's called Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
I actually have heard of that band.
It's a book.
But it's a band book, right?
It's a band book. Yeah, it's a band book. So here's this guy. The Knight of Pens was like the Knight of Swords. So whipping up a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of talk. There's something fantastical to it. So he's going to be part of the messaging. He's going to be part of the social media, controlling the messaging. There we go.
Musk, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I'm getting similar things. So what I'm getting is, oh boy, well, first of all, I'll just go right to the last card. When it happens quick. But I think Musk's, I think this is very staged. I mean, you know, DJT is a TV guy, you know. So I think his whole thing of announcing that Musk is, and I think I said this when it first happened, Musk going away. He doesn't really go away. He's still there. He's still pulling strings, but he's much less in the news because that freaks Donald Trump out to have him there with his kid saying, you know, you're not the president, you need to leave. But Musk then is now coming out and saying these other things. Now that might be a part of the Putin, Trump, Musk triangle, but I think it's going wrong. And what I get here is that Musk is going to go away. Now, is he going away just from Washington and the White House in Mar-a-Lago, or is he going away from the USA? Is he trying to leave the country? That's what I don't know.
There is a rainbow in your card in the Six of Swords. There's a rainbow here. Does this mean that the Pride Month is a timer?
I'm going to say yes.
June? Are we both getting June?
Yeah. I'm going to say yes. And my next card also has a rainbow. The Ace of Swords, big information being released. Big information, big revelation. And here's the Queen of Swords. Maybe almost every card in here has a rainbow. Not every card, but this one does too. Queen of Swords. That's my Kamala card.
She has a beautiful rainbow jacket.
Oh, she does.
It's covered with sequins.
Oh my God, I love it. So
I want it.
Okay. Kitty, I can't see the other card. Oh yeah, it's the health event card. Then comes up and crowns it. Do I have that up? Okay. But then for Musk, you know, he gets the Five of Pentacles, loss of money, loss of means, loss of influence probably means more to him. Page of Cups is him. He's a little child that just needs. What he hopes for is that he can defend his position, but I think that's futile. I don't think he can really defend his position. In the future, though, we do have the Eight of Pentacles, so he's going to try to play on the idea that he really knows what's best for all the things that he's doing. He knows what's best for Tesla. He knows what's best for Starlink, for SpaceX, for Doge, for Trumpy, for whoever. He really wants to play that card. And I think that's part of what gets exposed, is that he really doesn't know any of this stuff. And what if another pincer move is happening? Putin is doing stuff to bring him down. And imagine if Putin is manipulating social media, as one of the other readings was indicated, that social media was going to be manipulated, and they're manipulating it against Musk. Wouldn't that be sweet irony right there? That he's a victim of his own platforms. You know, that's I think a little part of it, because
but also with Musk and Tesla, I mean, he knows that they're getting ready to have him step aside. He does not want that. You know, and also we don't really know what the attitude is about Tesla in other parts of the world. And
they hate it. Several countries have banned them.
Well, see, that is a problem for him. And I'm wondering if, you know, he's doing kind of a fake step away from the White House stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So here he comes and just screws up everything for Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, anything he gets his hands on. You know, he just, what the stuff he did with Social Security was just horrible. And it will still, you know, he's actually screwed up the computer system for Social Security. But he's in so much trouble with his own companies that I think he's, you know, he's just faking this of, you know, like, I don't like what Trump's doing and I'm stepping away, and well, I'm not really stepping away. I'm still here. You know, like he was there when they wanted to give to Trump the $400 million airplane. There's Musk sitting right there going, oh, that'd be a nice thing to get. So, you know, no, Musk he is worried about his own company, but he liked that idea of being in control. I think he's thought that there'd be some way that that Trump could kind of step aside and he could move in, even though he's not an elected official. He'd have control over it. It didn't work out that way. It blew up in his face. He's having trouble with Tesla. And he's been sending other stuff up into the sky that's just been blowing up and didn't work out. So that's a lot of money down the drain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's, you know, he's not quite sure what to do. He's not feeling as confident about his position as he used to be. Yeah. It didn't occur to him that the, you know, chairman of the board or whatever they have at Tesla is saying, get rid of him because he is bringing the company down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, anyway, you want to go to a different question?
Well, I have Kathy. Yeah, go ahead.
I have two things to add to what you got, Colleen.
Yeah.
Queen of Swords, a female judge today refused to dismiss the lawsuit against Musk and Doge.
Tanya Chutkan, yes.
Yes, and she specifically said that this is completely appointing these was completely unconstitutional. It should have been ratified by Congress, although she wasn't supposed to be ruling on the merits. So I think she pretty much said what's going to happen. So that's thing one. And thing two, about the health event, who else has noticed that you don't see Trump walking much? He's almost always sitting at the desk and people are around him. Secondly, he's always covering the back of his right hand when he is sitting. So and there's a photo of him holding a pen up with his left hand and the right side of his face has fallen. Someone sent me a message and said, is this Bell's palsy? I went, is it a mini stroke? I don't know, but something has happened.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just pulling up for myself Musk with the transits on June 14th, because okay, so they're not on his midheaven, but Neptune and Saturn are going into his 10th house. Tanya Chutkan is a Cancer also. I don't think there's a time on her.
No, there is not. However, the Queen of Swords could be a judge.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Definitely could be a judge. So yeah, I noticed that too about Trump, and then you'll see him talking, to somebody on camera, and he seems to be able to talk, but I haven't been paying attention if just like one side of his face is not good, and if they're only shooting him from one side of the face, if he's insisting on the cameras not shooting a certain side of his face. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with that.
No, and he's got really bad posture.
But that's from his, other issues. Overweight and dementia and don't you guys think he's in Alzheimer's too? His dad had such bad Alzheimer's. I mean, and the dementia and Alzheimer's often go together. So 444 in the room. That's my number. Thank you. Oh boy. Okay. All right. I'm ready for a new question. I hope we answered that one.
Yes, I was hoping you put this one up.
Okay. Anonymous has released a statement that there will be some kind of big reveal for America in 38 days, which winds up being July 4th. Let's read on that.
Now, Anonymous has been extremely adept at getting into government computer systems and pulling out information. They got the names of all these different people from flight manifests who've been flown out of the country. But I think this is about election shenanigans. This is my hunch.
Okay. Well, let's see. What do you think, Cleo?
I'm not getting a clear response quite yet.
Okay.
Planned outcome. This is supporting my election. Look at that face.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that face. Planned outcome.
Mm-hmm.
The prophecy. Drone strikes. Something from the sky. It's election interference. Also, there's something about all those weird proliferation of drones. Remember for like 6 weeks, it was all over the news, and what's with the drones in the
New
air?
Jersey. It was all over the news and New Jersey. Yes,
and New Jersey, and like where I am, I'm near an arsenal, so there was a lot of it up here.
Yeah.
I stick with it being hiding something. Yeah.
Well, and the next question I have about that, that somebody said they want to know, why is Anonymous, what are they planning to come out with, which is you're discussing, and why the wait? And this is, I kind of got hung up on the timing on this. Why are they waiting till July 4th? I totally agree with Kathy that this is election interference information. But it's more, there's something more to it than just that. And I don't know. July 4th, Independence Day.
But the 38 days actually run out on July 1st.
But apparently there's a feeling that they don't really bring, well, okay, even if they mention on July 1st, to me, July 4th just has significance because of Independence Day. But the election interference stuff and the, I've been, they do have all kinds of numbers and stuff about the election interference, but it doesn't really, it doesn't really change anything right at the minute. I'm kind of thinking that what Anonymous is coming up with is something that, it could be something spectacular. It could be something like that we haven't really thought of yet, but it does do with election interference, but maybe it goes beyond all the different ideas that we've had about how this is coming about.
Well, it is the plan. I mean, they'll have something that shows that there was the prophecy and how they made the prophecy happen, that they planned the outcome. That's a piece of it. Maybe it involves other countries.
That definitely it does.
I think it does. I mean,
the info that they have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I think that they're going to connect the dots between the various countries that have had things stolen. And I think they may also come out with information about elections stolen in countries that have not come out and said they suspect that it's been stolen. Maybe even in countries where the so-called good guys won, but it was very narrow, and they find out, yeah, because there was definite interference. I think
And
that
I think
will be part of
I
it.
think it's consistently the same type of interference from country to country to country, from the United States to all the
Yeah.
other countries.
Yeah.
And that, I think, when they expose that,
Well, they've exposed that. We know that for
no, I mean expose it in a
countries.
way that says it goes even further. Goes
Yeah,
even
real proof, or
yes.
okay. But another set of cards that I got are these are Libby's story cards, and I get the crossroads. So I think it's the intersection of these other countries' experience with ours. We get future. So it's going to impact how we go forward in this country in the future. And I love this one. Every drop in the ocean. That's votes. Votes are like drops in the ocean. You add them all up together, and that's how you get a conclusion. And instead of the ocean, the sky. You know, every little data bit in the sky. That's what I think they're going to talk about.
Future card kind of harkens back to the drones in mine.
Yeah, because look at the picture.
In the sky.
Yeah, in the sky. Yeah. So I think it'll be a very interesting thing that comes out. And of course, people will be disappointed that it's not bigger and more and whatever, but it will be significant. It will be significant, I think. And why the buildup? I guess we just have to wait and see. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but it's significant. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, it is significant. Okay, what are we doing now?
I didn't know this had been. I mean, I knew he revoked visas and stuff, but I didn't know it was doctors.
They want us to die.
They do. You know, he wants the whole country just to get sick and, you know, have no health care. And he just is promoting suffering. He has no mercy for anybody, but, you know, like
I don't even think this is really his modus operandi. I don't even think this is what he's trying to do. I think this is Project 2025, what I know about it. I think this is really a part of Project 2025. I was listening to...
Well, it goes to Harvard. It goes to the Harvard problem.
Yeah.
Where they're taking away people's visas. They're scaring people. They're going to be deporting students. I mean, it's just ridiculous of what they're doing. And we've come up with dozens and dozens of reasons, that he's jealous of this or that. There has been a dispute about what Harvard does for a long time. It's not just Trump, but Trump takes it to the nth degree, and he just is being crazy about it. And he's also pointing out that some of the people that are that make decisions at Harvard are Democrats. He doesn't like Democrats, so he goes after them. I mean, it's just so ridiculous, but really not ridiculous for people that have been going to school there, people that are waiting for a diploma, people that have paid a lot of money to be there. He's really screwing things up that way. So this thing with doctors, if he's gonna revoke their visas, then no, they won't be able to start practicing right away.
Wow. It just sucks. Two things. I was listening to a podcast about the what is he called? National archivist, the guy the person who runs, guy or a girl, who runs the National Archive, whatever it is. And whoa, what they've done there is just evil. They have destroyed not only actual documents, but they have destroyed the documents that lay down how that whole system is run. So it will be nigh impossible to recreate it. It's going to have to be recreated from scratch, basically. They'll still have some of the archives, but not all. And the second thing I wanted to say was, Kathy, have you looked at a chart for Harvard?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Harvard is like mega Scorpio. I would.
Yeah. I pulled one up too. I gave it a 9 a.m. birth time because I thought, oh, well, that's when classes would start maybe. And I was really, I was like, whoa, this is interesting. And if you give it a 9 a.m., birth time, and I know I'm cheating, but whatever. I just want to show you this. It's funny. Oh gosh. Okay. Let me do this. I'll put it up on the screen for you. It's a lovely thing. We have, let me roll this down a bit. We have, I have the Scorpio here with all of those beautiful planets there. I guess that it was started on a new moon in Scorpio. And in the 10th house, right next to the midheaven, Venus and Jupiter. I don't think they're going to be worried about the money that Trump's taken.
What date are you using?
It said October 28th, 1636. Is that what you have?
1636. I have 1656. Let's see. I could be wrong.
And Kitty, I love you, but I want to talk about Harvard. And you didn't go there, so you're going down. Come back when your alma mater is on the screen. Okay.
You are correct, and I have a typo.
Okay. But isn't this a beautiful thing? And I mean, I'm sorry, but the 9 o'clock a.m. works for me. I have Saturn in Scorpio. I have a very fond spot in my life for Scorpio energy. Oh, and look at this. Saturn conjunct Mars in Capricorn. Woo! What the hell, Pat?
That's emphasizing. You're right, new moon. Look at that. Oh, and the Jupiter. There's an eclipse that's going to be on that Venus Jupiter in the end of September.
Yeah.
There's an eclipse at 29 degrees Virgo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Uranus has just moved across its Pluto.
Think of all the Pluto returns they've gone through. At least one. Maybe ready, maybe two.
And their Pluto is trying the U.S. Pluto. So they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. They're so solid. There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, I just thought, I had to share that. I was just like, man, that's awesome. And I believe we all have said when this first started up with Harvard and the money thing, we were all going, Harvard has endowments that are many, many billions of dollars. I really don't think they're worried about $100 million being taken away by Dumpy. I really don't think so. But that's what he took away today.
Well, no, now they're canceling everything. Any federal money at all. Okay. Shutting it all down. I mean, the courts are gonna say no.
Yeah, courts are gonna say no. And in the long run, it probably would not harm them too much. But they do get a lot of money from those foreign students because the foreign students have to pay for a full ride. They don't get scholarships by and large very much. They pay for a full ride. So, that sucks that they're going to mess all that up. And all those students that their lives are being disrupted in the fall, there may not be foreign students at Harvard, but that won't last. I mean, they'll do whatever they can to get them back. And when they reverse everything, then those students, by then those students may have made other arrangements with other universities, but eventually they'll get foreign students back because that's a part of what supports our country. And it's the diversity of cultures, the diversity of brains coming into Harvard. That's so important for all of us. not just Harvard. It's just important for our country and our well-being. So it won't last. I'm still staring at the Harvard chart. I just thought, wow, that is a great chart.
That is beautiful.
That is really great.
We are a nation.
I just wanted to mention we were talking about July 1st.
Yeah.
And here we go. Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I wonder if the people at Anonymous are actually originally Canadian.
They have good senses of humor.
Yeah.
Well, now we know but you know, it's perfect. July 1st and then July 4th. I mean, yes. That's great.
Yeah, that's really great. It's really, really great. Yeah. I do feel, and I don't know if you feel this way, I do feel like things have gotten so shitty for Trump, and yet he keeps doing so many more shitty things. I do feel like this is the buildup for the awfulness to come to a head and for things to be, for him to be shut down.
Well, then this next little comment by the same person is kind of goes along with what you're talking about.
Yes, I think he will be.
Yeah, he will be. Yeah. And then he'll go, uh-oh. And he'll just be in a wheelchair for the rest of his days.
He'll be like, what do you mean I lost money? Are you serious? My God, I've done everything I can with this cryptocurrency and to devalue the dollar.
Both of them. Yeah.
Devalue the dollar so that my cryptocurrency will be worth just that much more. And we've invested in so many different countries, Saudi Arabia, Russia, you know, he's just so busy with his money that I don't know if he's paying attention to what else is going on. But
oh God. Oh, yeah. Oh, dumpy.
And I'm getting close to the end of the questions that I have starred. Let's see. This I like this.
I can't wait till it comes out. The Kamala won by a margin of 70-30. At least she won the majority of swing states, if not all of them. The exact opposite of what the results were, and this is a fact.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so perfect because everything that Trump says is the exact opposite of what is really happening. So yeah, I like that terminology, exact opposite. I agree with Brian on this.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm right there with you, Brian. I can't wait. I just think it's going to be great. There's Rose Blue. Rose Blue says, his cheese done flew off his cracker. Sure did.
So here's a challenge for everybody, and that is, remember what you did when the election was called for Biden? I was in New York City. People were actually celebrating in the streets. I was with a party with a bunch of actors. So start thinking about what you're going to do at the various stages of our liberation from this, because I have no doubt that it's coming. I think there will be several gear shifts, but when the big one hits, I know what I'm doing. I've already made my plans. So I challenge you to come up with what you will do to celebrate. How's that for some positive energy?
Yeah. Yeah, really. And focusing on, all the smiling faces and all the relief. I think a lot of Republicans will have to buy new pants. And I say that because they will be pissing in all of their pants for days.
They're lucky if that's all they do.
Yeah. Well, Dumpy's already doing other stuff, but regular Republicans. Yeah.
I dance a jig in my yard. I'm doing something bigger than that.
Well, let's see. By September, the New York Renaissance Fair and the Sparta Renaissance Fair will be on. So I guess I'll be going to a Renaissance Fair. That's one thing I'm going to do, and dancing in the street. But for July and August, I'll have to think up other things to do. Because I agree. I think it's going to go in phases too. I'm waiting for the big. I want to know what I will be doing and where I will be when it becomes clear to me that this is the end of Dumpster. Like, because he keeps doing shitty things and shitty things keep happening to him and people keep doing other shitty things. So at first, it might be kind of hard to recognize that this is really bringing him down. You know what I mean? Like, we might just think, oh, it's just more shit, different day. Yeah, the boil needs to be lanced, but when you lance the boil, you'll see all the stuff come out. When this starts happening to Dumpster, it might not be so clear, not the stuff that comes out, but it might not be so clear that this is really bringing him down, that he's really been stopped. Although I think the presence of, more than 3 generals at the White House might give us a clue.
Possibly.
Yeah. I think that's probably, I think that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to see the presence of those generals. I think I might even buy a camo jacket just in solidarity. Just wear it. That might be what I do.
Well, who knows? I'll drive down the highway with a bottle of champagne and bang on your door.
Yes, you better. You better. That is what we have to do. God, it's going to be wild. So we went through your questions, huh, Cleo? The ones that
pretty much so.
Okay, let me just take a peek at my my questions, see if anything's good. We talked about Harvard. This was funny. I might put this up. I don't know. Oh, here we go. I know something that some people might want to do. So let me share the screen here. Can I get this all on one screen? Let me get rid of this. Come on, go away.
Don't mind me. A bee just flew into the room that I'm in and
okay,
buzzing around.
I see Brian has a statement about timing. Everybody is talking about late summer and September, and I've always felt it much earlier, like the really definitive thing, much earlier than that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay, so buying cannabis online is now legal and incredibly convenient. This was from, I don't know if this was the AP or Al Jazeera, but they said the company Mood is leading the way if you want to Google it. 100% federally legal THC from small U.S. firms. Shop now. And, they're projecting 100 million. This hemp startup Mood confounds expectation. They're supposed to have excellent customer service. So if you have any questions, I'm sure you can just either do a chat on their website or there's probably a phone number. And yes, you can buy it legally online. What else they say? This is why more people are choosing online cannabis delivery. You can get it delivered to your home. It's discreet and private. You have a wider selection. It's lab tested for quality and safety. That's always been my worry. Fast and reliable shipping and exclusive online deals and bundles. So folks, when you're starting your celebrations, keep Mood in mind. And if you're just having a hard time getting to the finish line, keep Mood in mind. Might help a lot. So I just wanted to point that out there.
If your state is not illegal is illegal for marijuana, that you can't do that. There's no way.
They say most states. They're not saying all states. But it is federally, it is legal. Just some states it's illegal. Yeah, thank you for stating that.
One of our fellow Jersey girls is saying we can meet on the golf course in Bedminster and dance on the greens. Yeah. Right. Sure. Yeah. No. I've been by Bedminster. There's no way we can get through unless all of the guards just give up. Now there are giant black SUVs.
Well, by that time they might. Who knows?
They might be gone.
What else do I have in my little goodie bag of questions? That's Tanya Chutkin refusing to toss the case for Elon Musk. Elon talked about the thing. Oh, Germany's Friedrich Merz had a talk with Zelensky and offered to sell him, not only help sell him more military stuff, but also to help Ukraine develop their own long-range missiles to hit Russia. Now, on the other side of the coin, some of the articles were saying that's just because Friedrich Merz didn't want to actually give them their Taurus missiles, which is supposed to be exceptional, but they will give them the information of how to build it themselves, which I don't know how great that would be, but they'd probably give them money to do it too. Marco Rubio has announced that he's going to penalize foreign officials who censor U.S. companies. What did he say? He said, I am announcing a new visa restriction policy that will apply to foreign nationals who are responsible for censorship of protected expression in the United States, Rubio said in a statement on Wednesday. Now,
and it has something to do with this is a Musk protection thing, because it's something to do with comments about tech.
Oh, okay. Says, what does he say? The administration of Donald Trump has frequently depicted social media content moderation policies as a form of censorship targeting conservatives, and has criticized foreign governments that encourage such policies. And I guess this is Trump. He says, even as we take action to reject censorship at home, I think I need to call that hemp company because I'm having trouble talking. We see troubling instances of foreign governments and foreign officials picking up the slack. In some instances, foreign officials have taken flagrant censorship actions against U.S. tech companies and U.S. citizens and residents when they have no authority to do so. So that's Marco for you. Now, I think we mentioned that King Charles opened Parliament in Canada, and no British monarch has done that in over 50 years. So I don't even know if his mother did that, maybe when she was first there or something. Trump warns Netanyahu off Iran strike as nuclear talks continue because Trump wants to make a nuclear deal with Iran. And Benny Netanyahu, this looks, I got to show you this picture. This looks photoshopped to me. I know it was in a paper, but whoops. Hang on. I'm almost leaving the studio. I have to do this again. I'm sorry. Okay. So, I mean, look the way the door thing is. Look, first of all, look at Dumpy's face. Looks like a little kid going, hey, you're fake news. A little kid. The thing with Netanyahu, it just looks like he was pasted into this picture. Doesn't it look weird? Oh. And what's with this? I know this flag is on his car, but like they couldn't find any other place for a photo op. They had to do, the doors. I don't know. I just thought that was
you're right. It does look odd. The way that they're,
looks funny there. And did they both say, blue suit, red tie? Don't fuck it up. Trump just has this thing with his bros. Like they got to be friends. They got to dress alike. They got to agree with everything he says. He's worse than a 12-year-old girl at a slumber party. Just wow, he's really dumb. This was Christy Nome. Nobody cares about her. And that was the last thing. Okay, so that's all of my stuff. And you guys, we got through all of your questions, and we got through a lot of the questions from the chat, I believe. And we had some really great comments from everybody in the chat. This was fantastic. So thank you, everybody. And my studio will improve over time. It won't always be coming from a cave. I'll put some lights on it. But thank you very much for joining me, Cleo and Kathy. I really appreciate that. Cleo, thank you for handling the questions. And Kathy, thank you for handling the astrology.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's always fun. The three of us always have a good time together.
Definitely. Yeah, I like watching you two, go against each other with their tarot cards. Not go against, but read together.
Yeah, it's really fun. And I liked looking at the Harvard chart and knowing that Friedrich Merz, big Scorpio, Scorpio, and Tanya Chutkan, Cancer. So our water sign people are really stepping up here. That's what I'm saying.
And can I just point something out here?
Yeah.
Friedrich is the German version of Fred.
Uh-huh.
Fred
Trump's
Mertz.
dad.
That's
Oh.
kind of a
Fred Mertz. Oh, that's funny. We need a Ethel.
I think that whoever is running this has an incredible sense of humor.
Maybe it's William Frawley, for all we know.
Who knows?
William Frawley is pulling the strings, folks. So Fred Mertz has come back to the world stage. That's good. Thank you for pointing that out.
I really, really want to thank the 526 people that showed up to our show today.
Yeah,
I know there'll be a lot more. They'll get it on the replay and stuff, but it's so nice to have everybody right here watching what's going on right now. I hope we got all the questions. I mean, some of the questions were similar to each other, so I kind of had to bypass those. But yeah, everybody is informed and coming up with intelligent questions, and that's really what makes this show. So thank you guys. Thanks for the chatters and all the input.
Okay, and I just want to say to everybody, this Friday there will not be a PoliTarology show because on Saturday, me and both of my daughters will be at a fair in, where is it? Where is it? Oh, poop. Where's the thing? Fair. Is it there? Flower Power. I wanted to tell you where it was, but I don't have the thing with me. Anyway, you can Google it. It's Flower Power Flea Market. And it's a fair that I do every year. Sometimes they have it twice a year. And it's somewhere in New Jersey that's going to be convenient to you. And it's a really cool fair. It's all vegan. It's animal friendly. You can bring your dog to this fair or your ferret or whatever. I don't think your snake would enjoy it, although it might rain a little bit. So your snake might enjoy it on Saturday. But just, I'm not fond of snakes, so keep it under control. Kitties are welcome, but I think most cats don't like to go on a leash. So anyway, it's a really cool fair. I'm reading cards. My daughter, Iris, will be reading cards as well. And our friends Izzy and Lauren are running this fair, and they do an excellent job, an absolutely excellent job. All vegan food will be available too at the food trucks.
It's in Randolph.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you.
It's not too far from me.
No, it's not. It's in Randolph. I think it's at one of the state parks in Randolph.
Veterans Community Park in Randolph, New Jersey. There's a great diner on Route 10, Randolph Diner. So,
okay.
Veterans Community Park in Randolph, New Jersey.
Yep. And there is some sort of an admission fee, but it's usually very nominal, like $5 or something like that. So it's not expensive. And all the stuff there is either going to be handmade or repurposed and recycled, or it's going to be like natural stuff, like me doing a reading or people selling stones or something like that. And really cool people at the fair. Very good vibe at this fair. So that's where I'm going to be over the weekend. The rain date is Sunday. That's why I'm not doing anything on Sunday either. And then in June, I will try to get back to a more normal schedule. And for those of you who asked, thank you for asking. Yes, the move for my daughter went exceptionally well. The three of us pulled together along with Dorothy's boyfriend. We got her all moved in. We got my studio moved out and stuff down here. And we're all very happy. So that's where it's at. So we'll see you guys next time. What is next time going to be? When am I coming back here? Oh, Friday the 6th, we'll have PoliTarology. No, yeah, PoliTarology with Sherry and Cleo. So we'll see you then. And Kathy, hey, if you're available, you pop on by, but I think you're busy on Fridays. So
Fridays are usually, I've got something.
Yeah. So there we go. And with that, I'm going to say bye, everybody. I love you all. And, remember that mood company for in case things are getting to you. Otherwise, just breathe deeply and maybe do a little meditation. See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.